Hello and welcome to my third Bloody Puddles Chimps Black Border Guide. I will openly admit this is not the easiest strategy out there. If you want the safest or easiest strategy, use one of my other two guides. Those are much safer. If you do everything correctly, there are only about 4 rounds which should have any form of RNG, and I'll go over those. But anyways, let's get started. First, you're going to want to place a dart monkey right over here in such a way that the outside of the top of the range border touches the inside of these tire treads, and the bottom part touches the insides of these tire treads. And you'll set this dart monkey to last. And now for probably one of the hardest placements in the entire game. You're going to place a sub right over here in such a way so that the left side of the range border goes through this hole in the wheel. The top part goes through the front of the car there, and the right side barely touches the outside of the grass. If you've gotten these placements correct, you should be able to beat rounds 6 and 7 with no issues. Except apparently on round 7 there is a 20% chance you die even if you have the right placements, but if you die, it's probably because you had the wrong placements. And before round 8, set your dart monkey to first, and then place a dart monkey right over here as left as possible so that the outside of the range border touches the edge of that puddle right there. And you'll set it to strong. Before round 9, you're going to place a sub as bottom right as possible in the section of that pool that goes downward. Once you place the sub, you should be able to see a little bit of water on the left of it. Round 10 is pretty easy. All you gotta do is place a sniper right over here in the middle of the round and set it to strong. And keep watch for when the sniper shoots. If the sniper shoots the last balloon of the round, you're going to want to set it to last for 1 shot, and then switch it back to strong. And then mid-round, place a dart monkey right over here, and if you place it too late, you might have to switch your sniper to first to catch a leak going up. Also, don't use code Dorio in the TD6 shop. Use code ennui instead, because honestly he kinda makes better guides, usually. He's also running out of Vegemite money. After round 13, place another sniper right over here and set it to strong. If you've done everything correctly, normally the fairly formidable round 14 is pretty easy. And then before 15, place a sniper right over here and set it to strong. And once you reach about 270 cash counter, set your sniper, your left sniper specifically, to first. This should clean up everything in the round, and you should beat it fairly easily. Sometimes it can get a lot closer than it does here, but you should still win no matter what, if you've done everything correctly. And then before 17, place SAUDA right over here. This placement is kind of important, and unfortunately there are no real visual indicators for it. I'm gonna be honest, SAUDA's mostly here as a decorative piece and just to show that Bloody Puddles with SAUDA is possible. So yeah. And then before 19, place a druid right over here. Not as left as possible, but right above the top right corner of the truck. Also, apparently it might be possible to lose here. I'm not 100% sure about that though. I might have misplaced my druid when I lost, so yeah. 21 is also somewhat a difficult round for this run. Upgrade your right sub to twin guns and use a leaping sword as soon as the round starts. You're going to hope that it goes on the left side so your snipers can focus the right side, and then upgrade your sub to longer range mid-round. If you've done everything correctly, you should beat 21 with no issues. 22 tends to get very close though, as you'll see here. That can happen a lot, but I don't think it's possible to lose to this round. Actually, it might be. And then before 23, upgrade your sub to Advanced Intel and use a Leaping Sword whenever. And then before 25, place a Dart Monkey right over here. I forgot to do that, so I kinda panicked, but place it right over here before the purples come. And then use a Leaping Sword once you see the purples. And it should go on the right side, and this should let you win fairly easily. And then, in the middle of 27, upgrade your sub to Airburst. You should be able to afford it before the greens come, which is useful. And then, before 28, upgrade your middle sniper to a 100 full metal jacket. In the middle of 31, upgrade your sub to triple guns. I'd recommend doing this as soon as possible, because if you don't, you probably lose, and you would not want to do that. So yeah, do that. And then at some point before 33, upgrade your bottom right Dart Monkey to a 002, whatever the camo upgrade's called. Before around 35, upgrade your Druid to a 130 Druid of the Jungle and set it to first. Also, you can use a Leaping Sword if you'd like. It is 100% not required, but I don't know, if you want to do it, you can. At some point before the camos on 37, upgrade your middle sniper to a 110 with night vision goggles and set it to the camo priority option. This helps for exclusively 2 rounds, but it makes those rounds a lot less RNG based, which is very useful. Also, 38 might get very, very close. It's gotten even closer for me, but I don't think it's possible to die. But 39, on the other hand, it is kinda possible to die, which really does suck. But hopefully you don't, and manage to make it to round 40, because once you've done that, this gets significantly easier. Trust me. Before round 40, place a village right over here in such a way that when you get bigger range on it later, it'll affect SAUDA. Upgrade that village to a 002 discount, and then put a Super Monkey right over here, and use SAUDA's Leaping Sword ability on the insides of the Moab. .42 is the first of 2 rounds that upgrading your sniper to a 110 actually helps for. Previously there was a bit of RNG on this round, but now there's none. .43 is pretty easy. All you gotta do is use SAUDA's Leaping Sword once a bunch of things start to reach the middle, preferably before the ceramics. And then before 44, place a village right over here so that the Druid is in its range. Upgrade this village to a 002 discount as well, and then place a Super Monkey right over here, and at some point, whenever you can afford it, upgrade it to a 022, getting the bottom path upgrades first. .45 should be ability-less, but maybe there's a slight chance that you have to use a Leaping Sword to catch a leak on the right side. It shouldn't be common though, because your sniper does have the camo priority. For 47, you're going to want to use a Leaping Sword once things start to reach just about the middle. That blue balloon should not get close, and then upgrade your right super to a 022, as I said earlier. And now, you're also going to get your left super to a 022. The order of upgrades this time doesn't really matter though. Alright, since we've got both 022 supers, we can now start saving to get the right one to a Robo-Monkey. That save up of 6.5k is completely AFK, so I'll see when we get it. Once you've upgraded to Robo-Monkey, set the top targeting to close and the bottom one to first. And now we're going to save to upgrade your left one to a robo as well. In the middle of 55, you should be able to afford your second robo-monkey. Set this one to the same targetings as the previous one. And now, upgrade both villages to a jungle drums, and make sure that when you upgrade the left village, SAUDA is in its range. "59 is pretty easy. You're going to want to use a sword charge once all of the camo LEDs are on the screen. You could probably just replace this by using a leaping sword when everything gets to the middle, but it doesn't really matter. The sword charge just looks cooler. And then before 61, upgrade your Druid of the Jungle to a Jungle's Bounty. And now, we shouldn't have to use any abilities until we afford Spirit of the Forest, but I would recommend using just a few, not too many though. And I'll say when those are. "63, I'd recommend using a sword charge to clear up any of the waves. It shouldn't really help because you don't need it, so yeah. Also, something very important to keep track of, whenever the Robo-Monkey starts chasing, there's a chance you might die. Like, if it stops shooting down the straight line and starts shifting its targeting to the side significantly, you might die. So, be ready to use a sword charge if you have to. The right side on any outer lane round with a BFB is a perfect example of this. Usually they'll end up getting to a point where the Robo-Monkey is seriously chasing the Bloons, but you don't die. So be ready to use a sword charge if you have to. Recommended ability number 2 is on 76. You can use a sword charge if you want. Not needed though. If you didn't use it on 76, you could also use it on 77 to clear up the BFB insides, but note that it is 154% not required. Like here on the second and third BFBs, I would definitely consider that chasing. So yeah, if you have to use a sword charge there, do that. And if you didn't use it on either of those rounds, you could use it on the first wave of 78, because it always looks sketchy. 100% not needed for the second wave though, because that +1 camo damage on Ultra Vision goes kinda crazy. In the middle of 79, upgrade your Jungle's Bounty Druid to Spirit of the Forest. This guy is kinda crazy right now, and absolutely carries our run. I'm not sure why Ninja Kiwi decided to make Spirit of the Forest, like, an insane tower, but I'm not mad. Please don't nerf. Before 81, place a base glue, don't place that ice yet, place a base glue right over here, next to your village, a base ice right next to your glue, and a base alchemist right next to your glue, right above it. And set it to strong. This guy is going to give SAUDA a bit of extra damage, which kinda helps. A little bit. Mostly on round 100. And then, on the right side, place a 013 glue gunner set to strong as low as possible while still being in the discount range. You also just want it right over there. That specific spot will let it hit DDTs later. And then upgrade that base glue from earlier to a 013 Moab glue set to strong as well. Over the next few rounds, you're going to upgrade both glues to 024 Relentless glues. These guys are kinda crazy right now, and also help carry the run a bit. Once you've gotten both glues to Relentless Glue, upgrade that base ice from earlier to Embrittlement with the first upgrade of the middle cross path, so a 410. This guy will just allow the top Robo-Monkey to pop DDTs, which is insanely useful for this run. And the decamo too. I guess that helps. And then also get one on the bottom side. For 85, I don't know, you could use some abilities, I guess. You don't have to, but if you really feel scared for some reason, why not? Once you've gotten both embrittlements, place an alchemist right above your Spirit of the Forest and upgrade it to a 300 Berserker Brew. This guy might end up helping a little bit. I'm not sure if it does, but we can say it does. And then, before 87, or just at some point before 90, place a ninja to the right of your right village and upgrade it to a 040 Bloon Sabotage. Also, if you ever feel scared for any reason, feel free to use any of SAUDA's abilities in the next 2 to 3 rounds. And then in the middle of 89, finish upgrading that ninja to a Bloon Sabotage. I'd recommend doing it as soon as possible because we want to use Sabotage on round 90. Yes, we want to use Sabotage on round 90. It doesn't really help too much, but I guess it makes it slightly easier or something. I don't know. 91 is going to get absolutely destroyed by Spirit of the Forest because it's just that crazy. And then at some point before 93, place a Cleansing Foam Engineer right above your embrittlement, your right one that is, and set it right there. And then place an Engineer right above SAUDA, or no, not right above SAUDA, right next to your top middle sniper, and upgrade it to a 030 and set it right over there. Whenever you can afford it, place a boomerang right over here and upgrade it to a 024 Moab Press set to Strong. You're also going to buy one on the left side, whenever you can afford it. And use a Sabotage on 93, and I don't know, feel free to use any of SAUDA's abilities if you'd like. They should not be needed though. As I said earlier, get a 024 Moab Press set to Strong on the top side as well, or the left side, rather. 94 is going to get absolutely destroyed because Spirit of the Forest needs a nerf. Actually, no it doesn't. Please don't nerf it, NK. Please do not do that. Before 95, set your right Cleansing Foam to not this spot. Do not set it there. It is very important that you do not set it there. Set it slightly more to the right of that. And then also set it right over here. Yeah, set it a bit more to the right of that, and your right one should go a bit more to the right of where I placed it as well, as I'm correcting now. And then, after 1 to 2 seconds of DDTs being on screen, use a Sabotage ability, and once there is a DDT that does not get glued from the bottom side, you can use a Leaping Sword, or if all of them end up getting glued, just use it anyway. It'll help clear up the round a bit. And then use a Sword Charge once, about a second after the Sabotage ends. If you did that correctly, you should win 95. There might be a tiny bit of RNG on that round though. I can't tell. It could also just be entirely ability timing, but who knows. And then, in the middle of 96, upgrade your starting sub to a First Strike, or a 040 sub, and don't use its ability just yet. You're going to use its ability as soon as possible on 97, and you can also use a Sabotage here if you'd like. It doesn't really help for anything, but I guess it does something. You can also use a Sword Charge here if you feel scared, or if a ceramic leaks for whatever reason. And then you're also going to use another first strike ability off cooldown when you have it available. The fortified ZOMG should not pop into fortified BFBs. If it does, you probably die, which would kinda suck. 98 doesn't actually require any abilities, and I would recommend that you don't use them so we can save them for next round, because next round they are kind of important. Look at 98 just get absolutely destroyed by Spirit of the Forest. This guy is broken and needs a nerf. Don't place these towers yet. That's a round 100 thing. Don't worry about it. For 99, sabotage a few seconds after the round starts. Do not use a leaping sword at all, but if there's a fortified DDT from the bottom side that does not get glued, use a sword charge. I'd recommend using one anyway. And then for round 100, place a ninja to the left of your Robo Monkey and upgrade it to a 104 sticky bomb. It should be in discount range. It's very important that it is. And then right above your Robo Monkey, place an overdrive and another overdrive. And then with leftover money, you're not going to do anything because you literally can't afford anything. And then use a leaping sword the instant it lets you. This will deal a good bit of extra damage to the bat, which we really do need, because this setup really lacks bad damage. And then use another leaping sword off cooldown and a sword charge if it comes off cooldown. And then use a first strike right as the bat is about to exit. If you've done everything correctly, and yeah, it is a lot, you should now have your Bloody Puddles Black Border with one of the most epic strategies ever done for a Black Border guide on this map. I hope this guide helped you out. Have a nice rest of your day. Goodbye.